The strange changes. In a small, diverse neighborhood, humans and aliens lived side by side. Among them was Alex, a curious young man with a knack for adventure. He had always found the alien species fascinating, especially his neighbor Zira. She was a blue-skinned alien from a distant planet, and often kept to herself. But now, something strange was happening. As spring approached, odd noises filled the air at night. Alex heard loud howls and strange chirps that echoed through the dark streets. The sounds were unlike anything he had ever heard. They were both frightening and intriguing. His friends joked that it was just Zira's mating season, but Alex didn't believe them. He had never seen anything like this in his life. Every day, Zira's behavior changed. She became more energetic and was often outside, making strange gestures and sounds. Her house, usually quiet, was now filled with unusual lights and colors. Alex decided to investigate. Maybe he could understand what was happening. One evening, he saw Zira outside, surrounded by a strange glow. She danced and made chirping noises, her movements graceful yet wild. Alex watched from his window, fascinated. He had never seen her like this. Was she trying to attract a mate? The thought made him giggle, but he was also curious. He had to know more. The next day, Alex noticed something else. Strange creatures began to appear in the neighborhood. They were small, furry, and had big, curious eyes. The creatures scurried around, exploring everything. Some of the neighbors were scared, while others were amused. The small animals seemed harmless, but their presence only added to the chaos. As days went by, more of these creatures showed up, and the neighborhood was buzzing with excitement. Some kids found joy in chasing them, while others screamed and ran away. Alex tried to calm them down. "They're just curious. Look how cute they are," he said, trying to make sense of the situation. But not everyone was convinced. One night, the sounds grew louder, and Alex decided to confront Zira. He walked over to her house, taking a deep breath. As he knocked on her door, he could hear the wild sounds inside. The door swung open, and there stood Zira, her eyes wide and sparkling. "Come in," she said with a big smile. "You must see this." Inside, the room was filled with light and strange decorations. The walls shimmered, and colorful plants hung from the ceiling. Alex was amazed. Zira was busy organizing a celebration. "It's the mating season. It's a time for joy and life," she explained, excitement in her voice. Alex listened, puzzled but intrigued. This was a world he didn't know existed. "What about the creatures outside?" he asked. Zira laughed. "They are my friends. They help us during the mating season." She explained that the creatures were called flimmers, known for their playful nature. They assisted in attracting mates by spreading flowers and colors. The more Alex learned, the more he wanted to join in the fun. As the week went on, the neighborhood began to change. Some humans started embracing the alien customs, decorating their homes, and joining in the celebrations. Laughter filled the streets as people and flimmers played together. Alex felt a sense of unity forming. This was something beautiful, a mix of cultures, humans, and aliens sharing joy. Yet, not everyone was happy. Some neighbors were upset by the noise and chaos. "We need to stop this. It's too much," they shouted. Alex realized that not everyone understood the importance of this season. "We can't just ignore it. It's a celebration of life," he argued, trying to explain. One night, during a big gathering, Alex decided to speak up. He stood in front of his neighbors, both human and alien. "This is a time of joy for us all. Let's learn from each other," he declared. The crowd fell silent. They could see his passion and sincerity. Slowly, people began to cheer. They joined in the fun, dancing with Zira and the flimmers. As the stars shone brightly overhead, the neighborhood transformed into a vibrant place of celebration. Laughter echoed, and joy filled the air. Alex smiled, knowing this was just the beginning of something special. In the days that followed, Alex learned more about the mating season and the bonds it created. Zira became his friend, and they shared stories of their cultures. The neighborhood, once divided, now stood united. Everyone embraced the differences, creating a beautiful tapestry of friendship. As Alex looked around, he felt a sense of pride. They had turned something strange into a wonderful experience. The mating season was not just about love for the aliens. It was a chance for everyone to connect, to grow, and to celebrate life together. Little did they know, this was just the start of many more adventures to come. The unexpected visitors. The neighborhood buzzed with excitement as the mating season continued. Alex felt a sense of community growing. People came together, sharing stories and laughter, while the Flimmers danced around them, adding to the joy. But soon, something unexpected happened that would change everything. One sunny afternoon, Alex heard loud noises outside. He rushed to see what was happening. To his surprise, a group of alien visitors had arrived. They were different from Zira's kind, tall with vibrant skin patterns and sharp features. Alex's heart raced. Who were they, and what did they want? Zira quickly approached the newcomers, her excitement clear. These are the Norans. They come from a distant planet to celebrate the mating season, she explained. The Norans had a reputation for being fierce warriors and skilled diplomats. Alex felt a mix of fear and curiosity. Would they bring chaos to their celebration? As the Norans entered the neighborhood, Alex watched closely. They were unlike anyone he had met. Their movements were strong and confident, and they spoke in deep, resonating voices. Some humans stepped back, unsure how to react, but Zira welcomed them warmly, and soon others followed her lead. The Norans began to share their customs, demonstrating impressive dances and rituals. They invited everyone to join them, and slowly the tension melted away. Alex found himself caught up in the festivities, learning new moves and laughing alongside his neighbors. Yet, as the sun set, Alex noticed a problem. The Norans brought with them a huge creature, a powerful beast that looked like a mix between a lion and a dragon. It roamed freely, its presence intimidating. Alex could see that some humans were frightened, whispering among themselves about the danger it posed. Is it safe? Alex asked Zira, concern evident in his voice. She nodded but admitted, it's part of their culture. The Norans believe the beast brings strength and protection. Despite her assurance, Alex couldn't shake the unease. As night fell, the celebrations continued. The Norans showcased their strength, using their beast to impress the crowd. It performed tricks, showcasing its power, but Alex worried about what might happen if it got out of control. He noticed that some children were watching in awe, while others hid behind their parents. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed through the night. The beast had grown restless. It dashed through the gathering, knocking over decorations and startling everyone. People screamed, and the joyful atmosphere turned into chaos. Alex's heart raced as he saw Zira trying to calm the beast, but it was too powerful. Stay back, Alex shouted, urging the crowd to move away. He didn't want anyone to get hurt. He had to think fast. He remembered how the Flimmers had been friendly and playful. Perhaps he could use that to help. With determination, Alex stepped forward. He called out to the Flimmers, hoping they would respond. To his surprise, they flocked around him, sensing his urgency. They chirped and danced, trying to distract the beast. Alex knew it was a risk, but he had to try. As the Flimmers danced around the beast, its attention shifted. It paused, curious about the small creatures. Seeing this, Alex seized the moment. He stepped closer, using calm, soothing words to connect with the beast. Easy, big guy, it's okay. We just want to have fun. The Norans watched, impressed. Zira joined him, her presence adding to the calming energy. Slowly, the beast relaxed. It sat down, watching the Flimmers with interest. The crowd began to cheer as they saw Alex's bravery. The tension melted away, and laughter returned. Great job. Zira said, smiling widely. Alex felt a rush of pride. Together, they had turned a moment of fear into a celebration once more. The Norrens seemed pleased, nodding in respect. They saw how humans could adapt and unite in times of trouble. From that day on, the bond between the humans and the Norrens grew stronger. They shared stories and traditions, learning from one another. The powerful beast became a symbol of their friendship, a reminder of how unity could overcome fear. As the mating season progressed, Alex looked around at the diverse crowd celebrating together. It was a beautiful sight, filled with laughter and joy. They had turned a strange situation into something wonderful, embracing the differences that made their community unique. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of even more incredible adventures ahead. Bonds strengthened. As the mating season continued, the bond between the humans and the Norrens deepened. Every day brought new surprises, and the neighborhood became a hub of joy and excitement. Alex felt proud to be part of this unique friendship. Zira and the Norrens organized various activities to celebrate their cultures. They introduced the humans to their traditional games, which involved agility and strength. Alex joined in, laughing as he stumbled but enjoyed every moment. The Norrens, impressed by the human spirit, shared their techniques, helping everyone improve. One evening, while gathering for a feast, Alex noticed something unusual. The powerful beast, now more relaxed, had begun to form a bond with Zira. She often fed it, showing kindness, and it responded with affection. The sight was both heartwarming and surprising. Zira explained, "In our culture, respect and kindness create strong bonds." Inspired by this, Alex decided to connect with the beast too. He approached slowly, offering some food. At first, it was cautious, but soon it took the offering gently. Alex's heart swelled with joy as the creature nuzzled him, forming a trust that seemed unbreakable. As days passed, the neighborhood transformed. Humans and Norrens worked together to decorate their community, creating a blend of both cultures. Bright colors filled the streets, and laughter echoed everywhere. The celebration became a symbol of unity, showing how they could overcome differences and fears. However, not everything was perfect. Some of the Norrens wanted to assert their dominance, reminding everyone of their strength. They challenged the humans to a series of games to prove their worth. Alex felt uneasy about this. He believed the focus should be on cooperation, not competition. Zira sensed his concern. "We can show them our strength in unity, Alex. Let's combine our skills," she suggested. Alex nodded, feeling inspired by her confidence. They gathered the humans and Norrens to discuss a plan. The day of the games arrived, and excitement filled the air. Alex, Zira, and the others prepared to demonstrate their unique abilities together. The Norrens began with a display of strength, showing off their skills in combat and agility. The humans cheered but felt pressure to match that level of performance. Then, it was time for the humans to show what they could do. Alex took the lead, demonstrating a game involving teamwork and strategy. He explained how working together could achieve great things. The Norrens watched closely, intrigued. As the games continued, the atmosphere shifted. Instead of rivalry, a sense of camaraderie grew. The Norrens admired the humans' creativity and resourcefulness, while the humans respected the Norrens' strength and agility. By the end of the day, both sides had learned from one another, realizing their combined strengths created something greater. The event ended with a grand feast, where everyone shared stories and laughter. Alex felt a deep sense of belonging. They had proven that true strength lay not in individual power, but in the bonds they formed. In the days that followed, the neighborhood thrived. The bond between humans and Norrens became a symbol of hope. Together, they faced challenges, celebrated victories, and learned to respect each other's differences. The mating season had brought unexpected changes, but it had also united them in ways they never imagined. As Alex looked around at his friends, both human and alien, He knew this was just the beginning of their shared journey. The challenges ahead would only strengthen their connection, making their community more vibrant and resilient than ever before. An unexpected threat. As the days turned into weeks, the bond between humans and Norrens continued to strengthen. The unique friendship had become the talk of the neighborhood. Zira and Alex often found themselves together, discussing their cultures and the differences that made them unique. One evening, while they were gathering materials for a new community project, a sudden commotion broke out nearby. The powerful beast, now a beloved member of the community, began to growl. Alex turned, alarmed, as a group of outsiders approached. They were rough-looking aliens, their presence instantly unsettling. "Who are they?" Alex asked, gripping Zira's arm. She looked worried but tried to remain calm. "I don't know, but we should be cautious. They don't look friendly." The strangers stopped a distance away, eyeing the humans and Norrens with disdain. Their leader, a tall alien with dark scales, stepped forward. "What is this place? It's pathetic to see such weak beings mingling." His voice dripped with contempt. Zira stepped forward, her own posture strong. "This is our home. We have built a community here, united in friendship. We will not be intimidated." The leader laughed, a cold, harsh sound. "Friendship? You think this weak bond will protect you? We have come to reclaim what is ours. You do not belong here." Fear coursed through Alex as he glanced at the others. He realized they were outnumbered. "We need to stay united," he whispered to Zira. "But how?" Before Zira could respond, the leader signaled his followers, and they moved forward menacingly. The atmosphere grew tense, and Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. This was a moment of truth for their fragile alliance. Zira, sensing the fear among their group, raised her hand. "Wait, we do not want trouble. We just want to coexist peacefully. What do you want from us?" The leader smirked. "You have something we desire. That creature of yours, it has potential. Hand it over, and we'll leave you in peace." Anger flared within Alex. "You think we will just give up our friend? This is not a negotiation." The leader's eyes narrowed. "Then prepare for war. We will take it by force if we have to." As the leader turned to leave, Alex felt a sense of urgency. They couldn't let this threat linger. He gathered the humans and Norrens quickly, urging them to strategize. "We need to stand together. We've grown strong as a community, and we won't let them take that away." Zira nodded, her expression fierce. "We must protect our home and our friend. If they come back, we'll show them the strength of our unity." As night fell, the tension hung heavy in the air. Alex couldn't shake the fear that gripped him. What if the outsiders returned? They had underestimated their bond before, but this time, they would be ready. In the days to come, Alex and Zira worked tirelessly to prepare their community for any potential attack. They trained together, practicing their skills and strategies, determined to show the outsiders that they were not weak. Each day brought new challenges, but the spirit of unity fueled their resolve. They also reached out to neighboring communities for support, explaining their plight and the need for solidarity. Slowly, others joined their cause, and the sense of impending danger transformed into a rallying cry for strength. The day of reckoning was approaching. They had to face the outsiders head-on and prove that their bond was unbreakable. As Alex looked around at his friends, he knew they were ready to defend their home, no matter the cost. The community had come too far to let it all slip away now. "You said, the battle for unity." The sun rose on a tense morning, the air thick with anticipation. Alex and Zira stood together, surveying the preparations their community had made. They were ready for whatever the outsiders might bring. Every member, human and Norren alike, felt the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. Their home was at stake, and they would defend it with everything they had. As the hours passed, the sounds of battle drums echoed in the distance. The outsiders were approaching, their numbers larger than Alex had anticipated. Panic flickered in the hearts of some, But Zira's voice rose above the fear. Remember why we fight. We protect our home, our friends, and our future. With Zira's words igniting their courage, the community stood firm, united in purpose. They had trained together, learned from one another, and forged bonds that would not be easily broken. Alex felt a swell of pride as he looked around at the faces ready to defend what they had built together. When the outsiders finally arrived, their leader stepped forward, his expression a mix of confidence and malice. "You are fools to think you can resist us. Hand over the beast, and maybe we will spare you." Alex stepped forward, refusing to back down. "We will never surrender, our friend. You underestimate the strength of our unity." With a roar, the battle began. The community fought valiantly, using everything they had learned in their training. The Norrens displayed their agility and speed, while the humans relied on their strategic thinking and resourcefulness. Together, they created a formidable force. In the chaos, Alex spotted the beast. It was fierce and ready to defend its newfound family. With Zira at his side, they led the charge against the invaders, their spirits unyielding. But the outsiders were relentless, pushing back hard. Just when it seemed the tide might turn against them, the unexpected happened. Other communities, hearing the call for help, arrived to aid them. Allies rushed to their side, creating a surge of strength that revitalized the defenders. As the battle raged on, Alex felt a surge of hope. They were not alone. Their bonds had drawn others into the fight. With renewed determination, they pushed forward. Zira fought beside him, her fierce spirit igniting the flames of bravery in everyone around them. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the tide began to turn. The outsiders, overwhelmed by the united force, started to retreat. The leader, realizing defeat was imminent, shouted a last command to his followers. "We will not forget this. You may have won today, but you will pay for this." With that, the invaders fled, leaving behind a battleground filled with both triumph and sorrow. The community, battered but unbroken, gathered together, cheering in victory. They had faced an enormous threat and emerged stronger than before. In the aftermath, as they tended to the wounded and mourned their losses, Alex realized the true power of their alliance. They had proven that unity could overcome even the darkest of challenges. The bond between humans and Norrens had been tested, but it had only grown deeper. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the community, Zira turned to Alex, her eyes shining with pride. "We did it together. We protected our home." Alex smiled, knowing this was just the beginning. They would continue to grow, learn, and thrive as a united community. Together, they had forged a legacy of strength, one that would echo through the stars. A new beginning. In the days that followed the battle, the community was filled with a sense of hope and renewal. The scars of conflict remained, but they were now a badge of honor. Alex and Zira worked alongside their friends and allies to rebuild what had been damaged, not just physically but emotionally. They gathered to share stories of bravery, celebrating those who had fought hard and those who had made sacrifices. The bond between the humans and the Norrens grew stronger, transforming into something deeper than friendship. They began to hold gatherings to learn from one another, sharing their cultures and traditions. Alex marveled at how much they had grown together, understanding that their differences made them stronger. As the seasons changed, so did their lives. They discovered ways to combine their skills, blending human technology with Norren knowledge. They designed new tools for farming, creating more efficient ways to cultivate their land. The once fractured community was now a thriving hub of innovation and creativity. One evening, as the stars twinkled overhead, Alex and Zira sat together, reflecting on the journey they had taken. "We started as strangers," Zira said softly. "But now we are family." Alex nodded, feeling a warmth spread in his chest. "We've learned so much. I never imagined we could achieve this together." Their conversation was interrupted by a joyous commotion. A group of children ran past, laughing and playing, chasing each other through the fields. It was a beautiful sight, one that filled Alex with pride. They were building a future, one that was safe, filled with joy, and full of promise. However, not everything was perfect. The shadow of the outsiders still lingered in the background. Whispers of their plans to regroup reached the community, causing concern. The leaders called a meeting, and everyone gathered to discuss their next steps. They knew that while they had won the battle, the war was not yet over. "We must stay vigilant," Alex urged during the meeting. "We have shown our strength, but we cannot let our guard down. We need to be ready for whatever comes next." Zira stood beside him, her voice steady. "We can't just prepare for war. We need to build alliances and seek peace. Maybe there are others who want to stand with us against the outsiders." The community agreed, and they set out to establish connections with nearby settlements. They sent messengers to neighboring groups, inviting them to join in discussions about unity and protection. Slowly but surely, they began to form a network of allies who shared their vision. As the months passed, Alex and Zira found themselves at the forefront of this movement. They traveled to different communities, sharing their story of resilience and strength. With each meeting, their message of hope resonated further, and more people joined their cause. One day, while visiting a neighboring village, they encountered a small group of outsiders. The group looked weary, their eyes reflecting fear and uncertainty. Instead of hostility, Alex felt a pull of empathy. He approached them carefully. "We don't want to fight. We want to understand and create peace." The outsiders, taken aback, exchanged glances. One stepped forward, a young man with a look of exhaustion. "We were misled. We only wanted to survive. Can you help us?" Alex's heart raced. This was an unexpected turn. "Yes, we can help. Join us. Together, we can find a way forward." The young man nodded, tears of relief in his eyes. Soon, more outsiders joined, wanting to leave behind the pain of conflict. They became part of the growing community, working together to create a brighter future. As spring blossomed, the community transformed into a place of unity and growth. New ideas flourished, and friendships blossomed. Together, they planted gardens and built homes, celebrating their diversity and shared strength. The bonds forged in battle became threads of connection that wove their lives together. As the sun set one evening, Alex and Zira stood atop a hill, gazing down at the vibrant community below. "This is just the beginning," Zira said, her voice filled with hope. "We are stronger together, and we will keep fighting for our future." Alex smiled, filled with gratitude for the journey they had taken. "No matter what comes, we'll face it as one." Their laughter rang out, echoing through the hills as the stars began to twinkle overhead. In that moment, they knew they had created something extraordinary, a place where differences were embraced and unity reigned. A future united. As the community thrived, the true test of their strength and unity came when the outsiders they once feared returned. This time, however, they came not as enemies, but as allies seeking a new life. Their hearts were heavy with the past, but they were eager to make amends. Alex and Zira welcomed them, believing in the power of second chances. Together, they held a grand gathering, inviting all members of the community to share stories, traditions, and hopes. Laughter and joy filled the air as they danced, celebrating their newfound friendship. During the gathering, they shared a moment of silence for those lost in previous conflicts, honoring their memories while vowing to forge a peaceful future. As they shared food from different cultures, Alex marveled at how far they had come. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about thriving together. Bonds were formed that transcended their pasts. They discussed plans for collaboration, how to combine their knowledge to create a better life for everyone. Zira, standing beside Alex, spoke passionately about their shared future. "Let's build something greater than ourselves. We have the power to change our stories." The crowd erupted in applause, a wave of enthusiasm sweeping through them. They recognized that their survival depended not on conflict but on cooperation. They began to brainstorm projects that combined their strengths, from agriculture to technology. Each idea sparked hope, and soon they had a blueprint for a united community. As days turned into weeks, the community flourished. Fields that were once barren became vibrant with crops, while homes sprang up, each telling a story of collaboration and healing. They worked side by side, laughing and learning from one another. The differences that once divided them became the very fabric of their strength. But challenges still lay ahead. News arrived of the outsiders' old allies plotting against them. Fear and uncertainty swept through the community as they realized their peace was fragile. Alex, Zira, and the leaders convened, understanding that their unity would be tested. "We must show them that we are stronger together," Alex urged. "Let's prepare for what may come, but also extend our hands in peace. There are others who wish to join us." Zira nodded, her resolve strong. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions. We will be ready to defend our home, but we will also offer a chance for others to change." With this mindset, they began to train and prepare for potential conflict, but with a heart focused on peace. They organized defense strategies, ensuring that everyone, regardless of their background, had a role to play. The community was united in purpose. Days turned to months, and one day, as they trained, a messenger arrived from the outside. He bore a message of peace from the former enemies, who were now eager to negotiate. The leaders gathered to discuss this unexpected turn of events. With Alex and Zira leading the conversation, they reached out to the outsiders. The negotiation was tense, with many wary of their intentions, but Alex, speaking from the heart, conveyed their commitment to peace and cooperation. "We have the chance to create a future without the shadows of war. Let's work together instead of against each other." The outsiders hesitated, but eventually agreed to a meeting, hoping to discuss terms that would benefit both parties. The community braced themselves, unsure of what would come next, but hopeful. On the day of the meeting, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Both sides gathered, each group eyeing the other with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. But as they began to speak, the walls that had divided them started to crumble. Through open dialogue and shared goals, they discovered common ground. The outsiders shared their struggles and how they, too, sought a better future. Gradually, they began to build trust, and what started as a confrontation became a partnership. Months passed, and the alliance grew stronger. Together, they created a council to address the needs of all communities, ensuring that every voice was heard. The scars of their past began to heal, and a new narrative emerged, one of collaboration and hope. As Alex and Zira watched the sunset over their thriving community, they felt a sense of peace wash over them. They had fought battles, but now they were architects of a shared future. Together, they had transformed fear into trust and isolation into unity. In this new world, they were not just survivors, they were builders of a legacy where differences were celebrated and strength was found in togetherness. And as the stars lit up the night sky, they knew that their story was just beginning.